that I'm putting my very life on the line and the safety of my family by sharing this with you. So I hope that that buys me at least a few minutes of your precious time. If this video is taken down, it wasn't taken down by me, alright? Now I'm partly doing this to wash your blood off my hands, because God saved my life on a midnight highway one fateful night. Religion is. And how do I know about this religion? Because I used to belong to it. And today I'm renouncing it publicly, breaking my oath of silence, which they imposed upon me and every single other member during ceremonies under the penalty of death. That's why my life is in danger. Every person you're about to see has taken the same oath as I did, over and over, no matter where on earth they're from, including Scott Morrison, your Prime Minister and mine. But see, I was plucked from it, saved from its camouflaged clamps, from its extravagant deception and its spiritual corpse, by none other than God Almighty. No one else is going to tell you this. Not your favorite singer or politician, who more than likely also belong to this hidden religion. Nowhere will they speak, because they love it. They love their lives. They love their success, the money, the worship they receive. And then there are those who have left but have never broken their oath out of fear. Trust me, you don't know who you're messing with here. The few that have spoken out, well, they lost everything. Or either their reputations and livelihoods are threatened or destroyed, or they're framed for a crime and end up in jail, or they're murdered and made to look like an accident or suicide. Now, just for the record, the God that saved me, which God was that? Jesus Christ, of course, the one and only. And he's the only one they hate, along with his disciples. So I'm invincible until he's done with me. That's why I don't fear him. Now, please don't let the name of Jesus scare you off just yet, because if you're an atheist, you're especially going to want to hear this. Christians and atheists are the most pathetic bunch in the eyes of this ancient religion, the one that rules them all. And I'm only going to show you the tip of the iceberg. And just like an iceberg, the full body of this secret religion continues down past the line of sight, beneath the ocean. It widens in mass and scope until it continues further into the depths, into ever-increasing darkness and invisibility, until it reaches its foundations, which is firmly established in thick blackness, completely unimaginable and not perceived at all to those who only ever get to see its tip peeking out of the ocean top, including most of its members. At least 75%, 80%. And unless you're a member of this religion and this secret society, as they call it, you won't be granted access to the world stage or of a position of influence. It's become a prerequisite for success now that they've gained pretty much full control and their members are in every place of prominence. So brace yourself for the truth that has been hiding in plain sight every day of your life, and for the mind-blowing, out-of-this-world climax to this video. Now look at this. There's a few different ways they display their allegiance. They don't do it often, and some don't do it at all. But most of them can't help themselves, because when they do it in public, it's a hidden statement. And that statement gives them a lot of satisfaction. The celebrities usually cover one eye, or hide it in some way, and obscure it, or emphasize it like this. Or they close one eye, or peek through it, through this hand gesture, all to highlight one single eye. It's called the all-seeing eye. Other times they'll just display a drawn eye somewhere, or a tattoo of it. The other method they use is what's commonly known as the hidden hand. Here, for example, River Phoenix is doing both the hidden hand and the all-seeing eye, so you can see the direct connection between the two. But in the political world, usually it's done with the hidden hand. And of course, this. That's a secret handshake for the members of the secret one-eyed religion. We'll start with Scott Morrison here. Hidden in plain sight, as usual, for everyone to not see, as usual. Look at the handshake. I was taught this very handshake, or grip as they call it, during my time in this great school of deception. Here's a picture of a normal handshake, and here's the secret handshake. Normal, secret. Now here's Scott Morrison with Daniel Andrews. Normal handshake, secret handshake. All of them are sworn to secrecy under the penalty of death. And remember, I'll prove it to you very soon. Here's former Prime Minister John Howard giving the secret handshake, and Kevin Rudd bowing down to this bloke in front of Julia Gillard, all of whom are members of the religion. And Tony Abbott, you'll see in a second, and here's Julia again. Now, I once heard Julia being asked in a brief interview on TV while she was the Prime Minister. The interviewer asked her, "What religion are you?" My ears pricked up as I was eating breakfast and I froze to hear the answer. And she actually said, with a sinister smirk, "I'm a member of a secret society. Next question, please." And what happened? Nothing. No one cared. No one cared that the person who represents them just confessed that she's a member of a secret society, when the Australian society is at large the only society that should matter. And why is it a secret in the first place? I'll show you. Very soon you'll know their beliefs, and you'll know their master plan, and you'll know why they take such extreme precautions with such hideous oaths of silence under the unbelievable penalties, including death, to stay hidden from the public. So what's the name of this religion? Well, I'll tell you right now. But keep in mind, the magic word you're about to hear only hides the true religion inside of itself. That's how it's secretly flourished to spread like a cancer around the world. It's a religion within a fraternity. The name of the international fraternity, the one that camouflages, conceals, and cloaks the secret religion inside it, is this: Freemasonry. This is their official symbol, the square and compass. Sometimes with a G in the middle, and sometimes with the eye, the all-seeing eye. This is the same eye that these people are referring to. That's where it comes from. The eye is sometimes placed in a triangle, and that's where this comes from, the eye in the triangle. Here's Chris Angel doing it, standing also next to a mate with a square and compass shirt on. Not a coincidence. This is not something Jay-Z invented. This is the religion Jay-Z belongs to, and proudly, as you're about to see. The Freemasons also place the eye at the top of a pyramid, because the Egyptian pyramid is integral to their secret system. Here it is on Chris Angel's shirt and Madonna's jacket. That's a Masonic symbol. The Freemasons are sometimes called the Masons for short. It'll all come together and make sense really soon. Here it is hidden in plain sight at the Australian MTV Awards. And this is the MTV headquarters, by the way. Trust me, there's no doubting this. Here's the same eye in a pyramid on a Crowded House logo. Yes, initiated Freemasons. Here's the eye on the Harbour Bridge for a New Year's Eve gig. And I wonder what that eye could be referring to. So what's the connection? The religion is the connection, the secret religion. And you'll see. Prepare yourself for an incredible revelation and the amazing climax that comes at the end of this video. Now this is where the Freemasons are counting on you to lose interest, or roll your eyes and move on. Because in their beliefs, the uninitiated, meaning you, are ignorant and stupid compared to them. You're technically called the vulgar and the profane. Please prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. And stay with me just a little longer. Now the secret identity of this one eye lies in the heart of this religion that lives, breathes, feeds and grows deep inside of Freemasonry. And Freemasonry camouflages it very successfully. So it goes undetected and undisturbed until it ultimately fulfills a thing called the great work. That's what they call it. And they will succeed very shortly. Nothing can stop it now. And I think some of you can sense that something's coming. And who do we trust more than anyone in the world right now? This bloke. And there he is, giving the sign of the hidden hand in front of the whole world. The hidden hand sign is technically called the sign of the master of the second veil in Freemasonry. Veil, get it? Meaning hidden. Now, am I saying that this thing that's happening in the world isn't real? No, I'm saying this. Spoken like a true Freemason. And you remember this guy?
A safe place and a dangerous place. We must treat this new world order, this new world of COVID. We must treat this new world of COVID even in our own homes.
So what is this New World Order that he accidentally mentioned? It's common language in Freemasonry, and it has been for a long time. For at least this long. Since the US $1 bill. Hidden in plain sight, complete with the pyramid in the eye. It's the ultimate goal of this religion. And I'll show you what the great work is, at any cost. And Australia, like every other country, is now up to its neck in this pyramidal, one-eyed occult religion. You think there's nothing hidden on our own money? What about this shadow of a bloke? Who's he hiding in the background? Well, these numbers right here will tell you. And I'll show you that too. Did you know there's a giant pyramid in Australia? You want to see it? Sitting right at the centre of Australian power? Look closely, because you'll miss it. Because that's the way they designed it. There it is. Hang on. Do you see it yet? And what about now? That is the frame of an Egyptian pyramid, which we can now firmly call a Masonic pyramid, complete with a missing capstone. And if you're still in doubt that you're looking at a pyramid, there you go. A perfect to-scale pyramid hiding out of sight inside the giant frame that surrounds it. This is going to be so unbelievable to you that you probably won't believe it. Or if you're that far gone, if you really have lost touch with your own soul, you won't care. And you'll miss the opportunity to have your own eyes open first to the worst news and then to the best news you could ever wish for on this God-forsaken planet in which you're destined to lose everything you have and everything you love until eventually you lose yourself. We have to establish what this religion that's hiding inside of Freemasonry actually is, and we will. And it's shocking, but it's reality. The symbol of the Freemasons itself is not what it seems. It's a squaring compass on the surface, but it conceals something that'll become obvious when I show you. But before we uncloak Freemasonry to see its true nature, its ugly face and its shameful nakedness, because I gave you my word that I'm going to prove it to you. This is the oath they have to take. This is the oath that I took. And your favorite actors and singers, just about all your heroes, just about, even some of your relatives, who probably have no idea what Freemasonry is or was, and why they took such gruesome oaths. So for those who are going to say, my grandfather was a Freemason and he was a great bloke, or don't the Freemasons run that retirement home? Just wait. Because I'm talking to Freemasons here as well. And don't you worry, they're going to come out of the woodworks. But they're all under the oath of secrecy. Don't forget that, no matter who they are. Adele, Neil Finn, Chris Angel, or Scott Morrison. The oath comes first. And here it is. This is taken from an official Masonic publication, not intended for the public. This is Duncan's Ritual of Freemasonry. In brief, I, of my own free will and accord, do hereby promise and swear that I will never reveal any of the secrets, arts, parts, point or points of the Master Mason's degree to any person or persons whomsoever This I solemnly, sincerely promise and swear, under no less penalty than having my body severed in two, my bowels taken out and burnt to ashes, so no more remembrance be had of so vile and wicked a wretch as I, should I ever violate my Master Mason's obligation. So now you know what they think of me. I'm a vile and wicked wretch for breaking my oath. So how can anyone ever trust a Freemason when he speaks about Freemasonry, unless you're speaking to a rare breed like me? Never reveal any parts, not even a single point, to anyone. Here's another penalty from another degree, this time from Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry, a legitimate Masonic publication for instructing and laying out the ritual. Binding myself under no less penalty than having my throat cut across, my tongue torn out by the roots, and my body buried in the rough sands of the sea. These are the penalties they swear to. And yes, the lodge has penal authority to execute. This is how they look when they're initiated. They have to remove all their clothing and jewelry, including wedding rings, crucifixes, the most meaningful things to them, no matter what. They have to go, because complete allegiance to the society is required. You're blindfolded at every initiation because you symbolize someone who lives in utter darkness before you receive the light of Freemasonry. And that light will become so obvious to you in a bit. The secret that is being, or both hands, being hung in your own home, and my personal favorite, having the top of your skull cut off so your brain is cooked in the sun. Now can you imagine what they're hiding? And then the ritual monitor goes on to illustrate the same secret handshakes and signs. Hidden hand, sign of silence. These people mocking us, sometimes to our face with their symbolism, while we respect them, admire them, and sometimes even love them and idolize them. All of them partaking in the same initiation rituals, to belong to the secret society, a prerequisite for success, to belong to the religion that gives you everything you want, everything your heart desires. While the Gospels teach accurately that the heart is wicked. Now here is a practical example of how Freemasonry comes first, even above the title of president. Here's a portrait of George Washington doing the sign of the Master of the Second Veil, and here, Freemason, before and above president. And if you think that's just by chance that they put the word Freemason above president, then here, read this genuine quote from Harry Truman. This should tell you how deep the consequences of Masonic initiation go and what lies deep within. It's Freemasonry above everything else. There's the Queen showing her allegiance over and over. And here's the Queen leaving a very special hospital with a very special nurse. And this was the Queen's father, fully dressed in his Masonic regalia, and that God-forsaken apron they wear, which also hides something, just like the square and compass. In fact, what the apron hides is what the square and compass really represents. And it's staring you right in the face. Can you see it yet? Prince Charles, handshake, hidden hand. Prince Harry, Prince William. And here is the Grand Master of English Freemasonry, Prince Edward, also in full gear. What a lovely looking chap. And now he's giving the Masonic grip in front of this stone that was placed there to memorialize his visit to Cape Town Lodge. And what about this guy? Prince Philip, husband of the Queen. Do you remember him saying this? Yeah, and here's the article in case you think he didn't. Initiated member. Do you slowly see what the Masonic mindset is? We are beneath them. And the craziest thing is, if they can turn you into what they think of you, then you deserve what's coming. It's a natural law. It's the law of nature. And I'll soon show you their real Bible, for lack of a better term, which justifies it all, and the one which guides their morals. And it makes a lot of sense, because the power of the deceptive phenomenon of Freemasonry lies in the fact that it contains real truth, intertwined with untruth. Now, this actual book that guides their morals and plans, it isn't written by hand, and it's been around longer than the Bible. So they think it's purer, sublime as they call it. And it's the foundation on which the religion is built upon. And that Bible, so-called, that unwritten Bible, is the key to unlocking its secrets. I'm going to hand you that key, and it's all going to come together like a flood. So they're going to own it all by their own words and actions. And they're going to introduce us to a new system of life, but only after a number of shocking events take place, which I'm so close to telling you about. But first, I have to tell you the name of the secret religion and the identity of the I. Now, for the few of you that think of hospitals and charities and nursing homes when you hear the word Freemason, a word which I soon hope to never speak again after this video, well, it's a front, a cover story, and like everything else in this presentation, I'm going to show you. This too is for the poor Freemasons that are going to have the call to make an appearance in the comments section trying to defend their beloved fraternity. This is 33rd degree Freemason Manly Hall, who was named Freemason of the Century by the Scottish Rite Journal in 1990. And you'd be surprised how many Masons haven't heard of him, because they don't bother entering the Masonic library and searching out the mysteries themselves. These same Masons think they know something, and they parade themselves on websites and social media, calling people like me, oh, he's just an anti-Mason, anti-Mason. Blind fools at best, deceivers at worst. Well, the Freemason of the Century wrote in this book and in this chapter, Freemasonry is a fraternity within a fraternity, an outer organization, concealing an inner brotherhood of the elect. One visible and the other invisible. The visible society is a splendid camaraderie of free and accepted men and women, enjoined to devote themselves to ethical, educational, fraternal, patriotic, and humanitarian causes and concerns like hospitals and charities. But the invisible society is a secret and most august fraternity whose members are dedicated to the service of a mysterious arcanum arcanorum, meaning mystery of mysteries. Now I wonder what that could be. So once again, don't listen to the lost or deceptive Masons that'll come here trying to cheat you from the truth, telling you that I don't know what I'm talking about or calling me an anti-Mason. Because there you just heard it. There's a Masonry for the majority of Masons, and then there's the real thing, the secret religion, which should shock you when it's announced. These same lost or deceptive Masons also love to repeat, like parrots, that Freemasonry is not a religion. Well, what does the Freemason of the Century have to say about that? From this book, he writes, Masonry is essentially a religious order. Not just a little bit religious, but essential. And here, the iconic giant of Freemasonry says in Morals and Dogma, every Masonic lodge is a temple of religion, and its teachings are instructions in religion. So please, sit down, Masons, because Freemasonry is a religion. And soon, I'm going to tell you what it's really called. Now look at this from the same book, and speaking about fellow Freemasons being initiated in the lodge room. Part of the symbols are displayed there to the initiate, but he is intentionally misled by false interpretations. Their true explication is reserved for the princes of Freemasonry. The whole body of the royal art, which you'll know all about soon, was hidden so carefully in the higher degrees. So you see, the whole thing is built on lies. And the ultimate liar lives inside the triangle, above the pyramid, so that even the highest Masons are living a monstrous lie. Wake up, Masons. Even you are deceived, just as the public is. Unless, of course, you're hungry enough to want to acquire all the power and climb up that pyramid closer to the eye that sees all. In that case, close your mouth, go back to your lodge, and good luck to you. Or, of course, grow some kahunas and be honest. But then you can't, right? Because you'd be breaking your oath. Sad. Oh, it's good to be free, under the wing of the true master. Stick around if you're interested, and you'll get to see some wonder. When I pull that cloak called Freemasonry right off, and those that are still here watching will get to see the true colours of the nakedness and the horror of the Masonic Lodge, and the religion that rules them all. Another thing that Masons will repeatedly say is that this has nothing to do with Freemasonry, and it's just a conspiracy theory. Well, the 33rd degree Freemason of the century also wrote this book about 100 years ago, The Secret Destiny of America. And look at the front cover. And I'll tell you why America is so important for the ultimate goal of the secret society. It's disturbing, but it's also essential in understanding the near future and what's going to take place. So for the Freemasons that still say that this is not a Masonic design, especially this Masonic website called Masonic Info, insisting here that even the eye in the triangle or pyramid is not Masonic. Completely laughable and pure disinformation for the stupid masses. Try arguing against this. This is from a 1960 copy of the New Age magazine, an official organ of the Supreme Council of 33rd Degrees. No higher authority in the United States to speak of the relationship between Freemasonry and the US $1 bill. Masonic symbolism in a $1 bill. Look at them all. 13 leaves, 13 bars, 13 feathers, so on and so forth, and of course, this, the Masonic all-seeing eye, located in the pyramid. So, you think this is a conspiracy theory, or just a plain conspiracy? Well, here's JFK, yes, a Freemason, but one who had enough when he wanted to print money disassociated from the Masonic central banks, just like Abraham Lincoln, and he paid the price for it as well. Listen to the speech we never hear about in school. More proof that they control the education system here and everywhere. Please, just have a quick listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means. I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people.